Okay, so here we have Newton's law of motion, and in this thing we have something called constraint motion, which is very important and it is involved in every single Newton's law of motion question. So if you master this thing, you can do any question in Newton's law of motion, like literally any kind of. So first we have the string constraint, and next one is the wedge, which will be in next video. We have, first of all, I'm taking an easy question to describe it. This is the question. We got to calculate or tell us that what is the velocity of v in terms of u. So we have an option here, and as you can see, the C option is the correct option because it is in the blue box. I love blue box. Now here we have method first. Method first is the very basic and very fundamental method. Pro meaning advantage, it solve every question. Con, disadvantage, it's a time consuming process. So how it's work? It's actually work on the concept length never changes. It's not like war never changes, it's like length of the string never changes. Now here we have something called x, y and z already prepared. Now based on these x, y, z, based on horizontal vertical length, we can figure out what is the length of the string. So here we are going to get hypotenuse x square and y square and square root, and there it is z. So total length of the string is going to be square root of x square, y square and z. Now after that we know this is the length, and length never changes, which means dl by dt is going to be 0, differentiation with respect to time. Now what will be the differentiation on right hand side to solve this question? It is going to be 1 by 2 square root of x square y square, and here we are getting on the top side, in numerator side, we are getting 2x dx by dt plus 2y dy by dt, chain rule I have applied here, plus dz by dt. Okay, that's good, but what is the value of dx by dt, or what is the value of dy by dt, what is the value of dz by dt? We don't know, but we are going to get this thing. So let's see each and every one. X is the distance between the block and the wall. So if the block is moving right hand side with velocity u, what do you think will happen to x? Will it decrease or will it increase? That's we need to judge first. It is decreasing. Decreasing meaning it is going to get a minus symbol here, and it is decreasing at a rate u, because that is the speed of block m, that is equals to u. Now dy by dt. So dy by dt here is the distance between the top side of the block and the top point of the pulley. Now listen carefully. The pulley is not jumping. Of course it's not. It is fixed here, and neither the block is jumping, which means the top portion of the block will not move. The top portion of the pulley will not move, meaning y is fixed length, which means dy by dt will be 0. And similar way dz by dt, let's see, z here is here fixed because of the top of the pulley fixed, but the other end is moving with velocity u. So here we can pretty much guess that z value is going to increase, which means it is going to get plus v. Now after that we have to put the values here. So you are going to get something x, if you solve it, square root of x square y square and dx by dt, which is minus u. Not going to write dy by dt because it's 0, and here we will get this thing as v. Now after that we need to put this x divided by square root of x square plus y square value. It sort of look like we have a triangle here. This thing is x, that thing is y, that thing is hypotenuse, so it's look like somewhat cos of this angle, cos of 90 minus theta. How we get it is 90 minus theta, you may ask? Well, this thing is theta, entire angle is 90, so 90 minus theta. So here we are going to get 0 cos 90 minus theta minus u plus v. So now we will get the answer, that will be u sine theta is equals to v. Let's put this thing in the box to remember. Now as you can see, it is solved, but it took a lot of time in order to do that. Now let's see other method. Here we have two more method and both are less time consuming. Second method here is the point method, meaning we are considering the point here, and less time consumption. Con, only work on one string. You can't apply on two or more than two strings. You will be in a trouble if you do that. Now how it works, the concept is velocity along the string should be same, meaning if this point is moving with 4 meter per second, that thing is also going to be moved 4 meter per second. Makes sense, because 4 meter here, 4 meter here, length never changes. Now let's do that. Oh, but how to get the velocity here in the direction of string? So we know this thing is 90 minus theta. So if we need velocity in the direction of string, which is that, it is going to be u cos 90 minus theta. I did the component here, so we are getting u cos 90 minus theta component, which is in the direction of string, is equals to v. Luckily we don't have to do any component for v, because it is already present in the direction of string. So there we go, and you get the answer. Now you can see why it is called less time consuming, because it is done in just two lines. Now let's see the method third, which is having advantage like the method second, less time consumption, and it works on every question. It's not like restricted to one string, it works on every, and con is actually none. So how it works, the concept of this thing, the concept here is we got to take the power of this thing. Why power? Because we have tension and velocity, power here and power there. You might have realized something, that tension is an internal force, and total power by internal force, or should I say total work done by the internal force, is always equals to 0. So there we go. So power here, total power is going to be 0. But how much power we are getting here? So P1. So what was the angle between this thing? Remember from previous diagram, it is 90 minus theta. So power will be T u cos 90 minus theta. If you're going to ask, sir, why cos 90 minus theta? Because remember, power is a scalar and you are doing the dot product of force and velocity. And here power will be P2, which is TV. What is the angle between them? Well, I see 180 degree. Why? Because they are literally opposite. Velocity right hand side, tension left hand side. So 180 degree. So P2 is going to be minus TV. So let's put all the values here. P1 plus P2. So this is going to be 2 Tu cos 90 minus theta and minus TV equals to 0. Solve it. Again you are going to get u cos 90 minus theta is equals to V. Once again we got the same answer which we are supposed to get.